Hi everyone, today I'm going to be doing a little bit from this page. This is from the weekly planner for this week, which is the 19th of April. Sorry, that went very blurry, didn't it? It's quite a detailed and big page. I thought I would just pick a small detail, so I'm going to zoom in. Excuse me. I thought it might be useful to just do this little tree house. There we go. I thought it might be handy if you've got, this is obviously from Enchanted Forest, so if you've got that book this could be handy, but also we've got lots of houses in Worlds of Wonder, so I thought it might be handy to have a go at a house design just to help as well. Now I'm going to do some of this as wood. To me it looks quite obviously like wood, and some of it might be painted and things like that, so we're going to do a couple of different effects. So my wood, I'm going to identify all of the wood that I think I'm going to do and show you how to do that first. So I've got this pencil which is my brown ochre. I think is it a light brown ochre? I think so. Excuse me while I look it up. No, it's just the brown ochre, and I'm going to go over all the woody bits with this. Now I've sharpened it because this is quite a small picture, but I think we'll manage. I'm going to do wooden window frames. The roof I'm not going to do wood. And I'm going to keep this in all quite earthy type colours. When I did this picture in Enchanted Forest, quite recently actually, I kept it in all earthy colours and I thought it worked well. So that's another bit there, so you can see what I'm doing down here. And I'm trying to go in the direction of the wood as I colour, because if I get any lines it will actually add to the look. So this one is across, as is this one, but this one will be up and down. We'll do that platform, we won't do the ladder, I think it'll take too long. Oh, maybe we will. Push it up and we'll do the stilt part. Maybe we won't do the plants, we'll see how the time goes. And this wooden part here. Now the second step of the wood is to do shadows. I've gone out of the lines, lots and lots, because I'm going quite fast. So shadows next, and my pencil is blunting up already. Let's go a bit slower. And then I add what I think looks like a wood effect. I'm just trying to work out which bit's the bottom of the ladder and which bit's the mushroom. I think that's it. So I'm going to grab a slightly darker brown. You can do any, not your darkest, if you've got a choice. I'm going to go for this one. I've got no idea what it is. It's got no, the number has been sharpened off. So I think that this is the Bistre. And so what I'm going to do is think about shadows on the ladder. I think there would be some shadow here from the platform, just a tad. I think that's enough for you to be able to see. I think there'd be a bit coming up from the ground, as there would on this pole, and from the reflection there. Now here, I think on the side, so basically where it's joining other things, I think it will create a shadow. And I think even if it isn't 100% natural, it just makes it look a bit more fun. Now you could go over this with several layers to make it darker, but I'm quite happy with it looking fairly light like that. And I'm going to then pull this down to do the top part. So I'm going to do a little bit on each end of the platform. And where that plant, I love this plant, it grows through the house, it's fantastic fun. Now with this bit I'm thinking there might be a shadow under here, because this might be overlapping, and the same with this piece. I take my hand away, you can see there's a little effect. I'm also going to put one above here just to finish that sort of three-dimensional look, as it were, and then a little bit on the tops of each of these little supporting pieces and at the bottom. I don't know if you can hear that loud talking. That's my husband on the telephone well, he's on some sort of computery call thing for work. He's so loud. The windows, I think I'm going to leave. Now I want to add some texture to the wood, so I'm using a darker brown again. I think this is the umber, raw umber. I think, no, this isn't, this is the burnt umber. It's a darker umber than the raw umber. I'm going to sharpen it because I want it really sharp. If you've got a Prismacolor very thin, Staedtler Erga Soft, something really hard, even maybe a Noris, Staedtler Noris, that will be good, because what we want to do is make some tiny lines on the wood to just give it the impression of wood grain. You could even use a little pen, a brown fine liner, if you're confident. I'm not very confident using pens, to be quite honest with you, because I make so many mistakes, go out the line so much. I get a bit nervous when I'm using a pen. But if you're confident with pens, then that might work for you. I am getting some glitter pens soon, I hope. I put them on my birthday list. A few things have been arriving here, and my parents have kindly looked at my birthday list as well, so we'll see. So I'm going to have to get brave if I'm going to use some glitter pens. So I emphasise the lines that Johanna's drawn, and then I'm going in between with a few lines. Now when you're doing lines in wood, I find myself sometimes going line, 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 and then they're all lined up. Don't want that, you want it a bit more random, so try not to always start in the same place and end in the same place, or else it looks a bit odd. Just going over these lines. And you can keep fiddling and adding lines of different shades of brown. When I've got a bigger area, I will tend to do 2 or 3 lots, but because this is teeny weeny, I'm just going to do the one layer, and I think you can still see. It looks a bit messy, but I think that's okay, because I think, you know, it's wood, it's not neat and tidy, so I don't mind. As long as it looks like wood and not just mess, I'm happy. So just going over all of that, and we can do the ladder as well. Hopefully you can see. Quite difficult to show up on these really little bits. Just do a little bit. You can fiddle around with your shading now if you want to, and you'll darken some of the colours if you think it needs it. But we're going to leave that and work on the actual main house. Now we did our windowsill and our window frame, sorry, and we didn't do this one. So I'm going to go back to the original brown, which was the ochre, brown ochre, and do the window frame and the door frame and a few other bits as well, because I think it will just work. This line here, I don't really know what it's supposed to be, and these things, I'm going to do that all in the brown, and I'm going to go back with this one, which we thought was the Bistre, do a tiny bit of shading on the edges like we did before. So just on each of the corners, just a little bit. And then some lines with this burnt umber. It's not really going to show up very much, but I think it all just adds a little touch. Right, and then we're going to do the roof. Excuse me, I just need to blow my nose though. Oh. Now the roof I'm going to do in a grey. I was tempted to do it to make it look metallic, but I don't think that will look very earthy. So I'm going to use one of the, more warm greys. So I'm going to start out with warm grey 5. So, and just start with the edge. Now I'm going to do this quite lightly. I don't want it really dark. Just gently bring it in towards the centre. The idea is that I want more colour on the edge. It's not very sharp. Bear with me. Using my Staedtler Noris Club sharpener. And I can just get a bit more colour right into the edge then, look. Which pleases me. And I think if you can get quite a dark line along the edge, it gives it a more three-dimensional feel. Now I'm going to go in with a lighter grey. I'm going to go down 2, so I'm going to use the warm grey 3, and now I'm just going to bring this into the centre really, but leave a little bit of a gap. I think I want it to look shiny, but I shall decide once I've done it and see whether it's working for me. So I'll stop there and have a look. Yeah, I think that's fine. So you can just use 2 warmish greys. If you've only got the cold greys, you can use a tiny bit of brown underneath first to tone it down a little bit. And now we've got the door and the walls. Now I want these to be quite an earthy colour again, and I'm having a look at what I've got. Ouch. Sorry, I've got a sore shoulder. I think the cinnamon might be a possibility, but it's a little bit too orangey. We've got this one, which is the light flesh. What I really want is a Prismacolor beige or a Derwent Lightfast wheat, but I don't have either of those with me, so I'm going to go with the light flesh. I think this colour has changed its name now, so I don't know what it's called, but it's number 132, and I'm going to go in here with this colour. It's a sort of pinky beigey colour, I guess. I think it will do. It's quite earthy. It's not as brown as I had hoped, but now here you've got to decide, is there building under here or is that just a wooden support? I think I'm going to colour a building in here, because I'm worried that if that building's only supported by those little struts of wood, it might fall down. But so you might like it open. And this bit too. So I'm not going to do the door in this colour, but all the walls the same. And what I'm going to do, because it's a little bit too pink for my liking, I'm going to use this brown that we used already, that we said was probably the Bistre, to tone it down with the lightest touch. So keep it on its side and just gently kiss the paper as light as you can, just the lightest layer. So it's really just browning it a little bit. We don't want it to look darker. It will, obviously. We just want it to tone down that orangey pinky colour. And if you're finding it hard to get the light touch, practice on a piece of paper first. Okay, and now I want to shade that a little bit, because this is round and it looks square at the minute, so if we put some darker colour on the 2 edges, we'll make it look rounder. So I can go in a little bit darker with this now, down the edge with the line, then bring that in just a little, just probably to the edge of the window. The same here, just bring it in a bit. And to me that looks a bit rounder. I don't know if it works for you. And because the building's under here, we need to do the same here with that. And then this one is actually square, so I don't need to do the edges to make it look rounded, but I need to put a bit of shadow under the wood here to make it look like it's overhanging. like that. And at the bottom as well, because they're going to need that wood to stand out a little bit, so they've got something to step on when they step out the front door. Yeah, I think that's that. And now I need to think of a door colour. Again, I want something that's quite earthy, and so I think I'm going to go for this. This is the Venetian Red, and you can see it's quite a browny red. I'm going to use it quite lightly, and it will look different and it will stand out a little bit, but it won't, you know, look brash. So that's that. Let me just zoom out for you. Oops, we're not going to do the plants and things. I just wanted to show you the building because I think it's quite useful, as I say, for Worlds of Wonder to think about how to do a building, but also quite fun. Now, with the rest of the page, you could carry on with the same colour scheme, which is probably what I'll do. I'll probably match every building the same. So there's a lot of wood and buildings and things, so I'll do them in the same. Or you could do all of them different. So there we go, so there's that one. I hope that was helpful for you, and we'll just get you started on this page. And make sure you share them on Instagram. If you hashtag Johanna Basford, I look at every picture on that hashtag, and I usually comment on all of them, so I can see you there. But also I am on Facebook in Johanna Basford Your Pages group, so I see things in there as well. And that's me, so thank you very much for watching, and happy colouring.